What's up guys, it's Theo Valentine. Today I'm coming in with a beginner Ableton trap beat tutorial. You don't need any plugins, just the default Ableton, which you can download for free in the description below. Let's get into it. So, right off the bat, here we have our MIDI channel number 1. So press tab, we're going to make the screen look like this. Up here we have our BPM, beats per minute. So this is how fast the song goes. We want this, take it, drag it up 140, trap BPM right there. Hit the search, we're going to go for our first instrument, it's the grand piano. Alright, so take a look across the top here guys. We have 140 BPM, that means 140 beats per minute. The metronome right here will click for every beat. 4 beats makes up a bar. So here along the top we can see all of our
bars.
1, 2, 3, 4
bars.
Let's start our first MIDI loop. Double click, make it last 4
bars.
Length, set it to 4. There we go. To start off our song, we're going to choose a note. Pick any note that you like, anything ending with a 3 that's going to start us off. Give it a listen, hit it, and see how you feel. Just pick a note that goes with how you feel. Yeah, I'm feeling this G. Alright, so let's start with G. Double click, drag out, we got a G note. Now we just need to decide, do we want minor or do we want major? So minor songs, sad, major songs, happy. Minor, Lil Baby, major, DaBaby. We're going to make a chord progression. So, how do we work out a chord progression? I'm not going to get into music theory or anything. All we're going to do, hit Google, G major chords, here we go. Let's start off with the root note, we'll start off with G major the chords. So what's that? G, B, D. Alright, simple as that. We start at the bottom and we'll go up. Alright, next up. I like A minor, A, C, E. Here we go, A, C, E. So we're going to put a chord on 1, on 2, 3, and 4. Alright, next up, I like the look of D major. Let's try that. D, F sharp, A. Right, finally, what's our fourth? E minor, E, G, B. Yep. Now, we need our melody. So guys, very simple melody tip. We're going to make it go up and then we're going to make it go down. So we're going to tell the full story. So let's start with our basic notes that we have at the bottom here. These are our root notes. G, A, D, E. Right here. Let's hit a G. Let's hit a A, D, and let's hit a E. Play around with it. Put it wherever you like. Get something nice. Okay, I like how this goes up right now, and then we're going to bring it down for the second quarter. Oh, okay. Right here, take it lower, and take it to the bottom to end the story. Let's try this. And we're just going to copy this, bring it over here. Bonus tip right here. So here we have an upbeat. What we could do, we could take this in a darker direction. So if you guys are into Travis Scott, if you like The Weeknd and your slower, darker songs, you want to give this a try. Let's make a copy for now, just in case we want to go back or if you want to change your mind. First, what we got to do, we got to freeze the track. Right click, freeze. Then we're going to right click here again and we're going to flatten. And this will turn us into an audio track instead. And that means we can make it slower and longer and deeper. So click right here, we're going to click re-pitch. And then we're going to go ×2. So twice as long and drawn out. And this is effectively the same as grow speed. If you guys ever heard of grow speed in FL Studio, this is the same thing. So that's another option for you guys. For now, let's stick with this one up here. Next up, we're going to hit some drums. I'm sure you guys have heard of the 808 drums, and they come from the 808 Roland kits, and luckily this comes with Ableton built in. So you just search 808 kits, here we go, and this is going to give us all of our trap noises. First, what you're going to want to do is mix your track volumes. So we're going to give each of these sounds a try, and we're going to see how loud that it is. Hit tab. Right here you can see this level. So when we play our melody, we can see the levels of how far the sound is reaching. So 0 right at the top, 0, that's our default, that's like our loudest sound. And then going down from that, it goes in a negative direction. So right here we go all the way up from -60 all the way up to -9. So when we try out our kick, it goes, okay, this is actually quite loud, so it's in the range of -6, so this sounds good. Alright, our clap is quite loud. Let's take this down a little. It's important that your drums will stand out in the mix and really like carry the backbone of your song. Clap, I like it -7, so let's try this here. Okay, below, -7, okay, perfect, and same for the snare. Let's start the drum loop here, so we have our intro loop, and then we get into the drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So our classic hi-hat pattern, we want to be hitting twice on every beat. Let's take this, let's copy it. Clap. We're going to put that on the 3s for trap music. Here we go. So our snare is like our backup clap. We want it to hit in between and we want it to build up the space between the claps. A couple of extra here just to spice it up. I'm gonna hit the kicks. So the kicks, we want to carry the backbone of the beat. Here we go, 1. Okay, I'm gonna put another kick here just to back it up. If we want to add more depth to our chords, what we can do is drag these down and fill up the lower areas. Keep the top one in the 4 range. We're going to keep the middle one in the 3 range and the bottom one on the 2 range. If this note right here was the G, drag this all the way down, G right here. And this one, we're going to take it to 2. And actually I'm going to edit this here, so I'll take this and just bring it down right at the bottom. We want to start in one place and we're going to end in the same place. And how we do that is we stick to our root note. So our root note right here is G. G is the beginning of our chord progression and it's our key of our song. And so our melody, we start at G, we go up, we go back to G, we go down, we go back to G, we go up, and then we go down and we end at G. So we're always starting and ending on G. New MIDI track going. And we're going to use the default built-in pan flute right here. There's a special effect that I like to use, and that is called OTT. So what OTT does is it takes the middle to high frequencies of your sound and it boosts them. So imagine if you're talking normally, it sounds like this, and then you pick up a megaphone much louder. A little bit of reverb. To make a counter melody, the way to think about this is we have our melody, and then we have a gap. Our melody plays in this section, and then here we have a little gap, and then it plays again, and then here we have another gap. So we want to fill in the gaps with a counter melody. The melody is asking us a question, it's asking what's happening now, and the counter melody is going to be our answer. Quick tip, so our song is in G major. Whatever key your guys' song is in, you can use this trick also. So take this effect, it's called scale, drag it in, and no matter what note that it is you want to play, no matter what sound you hit, it's always going to put it automatically into the range that you want. Just roll that. Here in the counter melody, it's the opposite to the melody. So in the melody, we go up and we go down. Here in our counter melody, we're going to go down and then we're going to go up. So next up, exciting part now, we're going to hit the 808s. These 808s come from a sample kit. I'll leave this in the description for you guys. These are really top quality. Pick one that we like. Oh yeah, this one is the classic. So drag it in. EQ right here. Drag it in. Very simple again on this tuning. All we're going to do is take the high end and drag it down. Very simple way to get our 808s, just follow the root notes of our chords. What do we have? G, A, D, E. Highlight it, hold down shift, copy paste. I want this a little bit higher. I like to keep the 808s in the 3 range. Okay, let's try this. Now we've got our basic pattern. We're going to play around with this a bit and see if we can get something interesting. So let's drag this forwards. The thing I really like to do with that 808s is to triple it up. Take this and copy it 3 times. To make this a bit more interesting, let's double the length. So we'll take this up to an 8, so it fills this whole range right here. We're going to take this, copy it, spice it up. We're going to add a downward 808 right at the end. next step is arrangement. Once we can build up the track and let it rise and let it crash. We're gonna make some empty loops, use that to structure out our songs. Command R, and we're gonna call this the intro. Just our simple melody and of course. Alright. Next up, straight into the hook. And it's gonna last 8 bars. Then after that, we'll go into a verse. Then we're gonna just repeat hook, verse again. Right here, we're gonna have a bridge. Something to change up the song. When you get towards the end, there'll be a section that will slow down the track. Just give a way to break it up, get the listener excited to hear the melody again. We're gonna have a pre-hook. This is gonna be a build-up to get us excited for our hook right at the end. And then finally our hook. That's the catchy part of the song, and we really just wanna emphasize this the most, build up to it, and then let it ride. Start off in the intro, we're gonna build up the piano, and we're also going to build up the flute. What I generally like to do is just introduce one instrument at a time. We're going to start off with the melody, bring in the flute halfway through the intro, then hit with the drums on the hook. Halfway into the hook, we're going to introduce the 808. Now for the verse, we're going to take it down a notch. What I recommend is in the verse sections, you want to keep it as bare as possible. Just the melody and the drums. Give some more room for the artist. Build it up in the hook again. We're going to just drop everything at once, now that it's already been introduced. Same thing for the hook right at the end. Here we go. Repeat the same thing for the verse. And now we're going to need a bridge. What I like to do with the bridge section is to take our melody and play it in reverse. Here we have our frozen melody from before. Take this back to normal. Hit the reverse button. Next up on the pre, simply keep the melody going. Spice it up on the build up. What we're going to do is add a snare passing. And let's start off by putting our snares in the 3 section just as we would. And how we're going to build this up is putting extra snares in. Build up the speed as we get towards the end. Here we have one snare again, add another snare, yet another snare, and then towards the end we're going to add a bunch of snares in a row like this. So it's going to build this up. If we want to make the hook hit even harder, what we can do is take this whole area and we're going to pitch it up. Command or Control A, drag this up to the next highest one. So G2 all the way up to G3. Sound effects step. So let's take this, we'll call it sound effects. If you guys like trap music, you're gonna love these sounds. The link in the description so you guys can get this. There's tons in here. What we're going to take in particular are the rises and the descenders to start with. Hold down shift, click right at the part where it builds up. Command C, we're going to copy this bit right here. New track, turn this one off for now, we'll just keep this as our bank. Here we have our intro and we want to build up to the drop. Unwarp it, line it up right over here so it builds up right to the point where the beat drops. Take down the top as well, it's a little bit too high pitched. Copy this into all of our hook. Mixing your track is very important. The easiest way to mix is to just edit the volumes according to how you want it to sound. Volume meter right here. So just take this, just drag it down. The general meta for mixing is to have it be as loud as possible. This section here, you want it to be like in the orange, like pushing towards the top, but not too far, not in the red. So as we can see, our 808 is pushing it a little too high. The vast majority of mixing just comes down to getting your volumes just right and tweaking your EQ levels so you don't clash your sounds with each other. Let's do some more sound effects now. Build up, build up, build up, bang. I like to use a lightning sound effect. So the way I got this, you can get any sound that you like straight off YouTube. Copy the link, put it into here. Now the way you do this, all you've got to do, get your folder ready and just drag it into your folder. Then the way you get your folder into Ableton, take it into this section right here. Then you'll be able to have access to your folder from Ableton. So this is my samples folder. Here we've got our lightning effect. And let's edit this so it lands right on the crash. This S means solo. Hit this S, take it right up to the crash like this. Bang, put it right on here. I even like to put OTC on my lightning, so let's do that too. We'll also put a bit of reverb as well. Okay, let's give that a listen. Same way that we have rises, we also have descenders. So for example, let's take this one. So let's just copy this. I'm gonna take it in the section where we go from high energy to lower energy. So here we transition from the hook to the verse, and we want to put a descender in right here. It just brings us down nicely into the verse. So let's copy that, put it over here, and we'll also put it in the bridge. I like this. So guys, the trick with sound effects is we don't want to use them too frequently. So I think this could go in the drop. And with sound effects, they often sound really good when you put them just before a change. Bass dropping right here, and our sound effect just right before it. And I also like to put sound effects on the off beats. So we could say these are the main beats, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, and in between we have our middle beats here where the clap goes. And where I like to put the sound effects is here, so these first and third section. If you want your sound effect to hit harder, take away the rest of the sound in that section. So we're going to just select all of this sound right here and just delete it. And let's get our OCT on here as well. Add some more flavor to it and a little bit of reverb. Make sure you have your beginning of the sound effect play right where you want it to. So here with this chant, what I'm going to do is repeat it. Put this just lightly in the background. So let's make a new channel. I just want the low. And the more reverb that we add, the softer it will be. Let's try this in the intro. Alright guys, so that's the beat. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe for plenty more beats and tutorials coming soon.